Adrien had made up his mind to go, but his body resisted every single step. He knew this meeting probably wouldn't kill him, but that was the bare minimum. He couldn't even begin to imagine what awaited him. Still, running away wasn't an option. Everything he needed right now was in that office. His black magic teacher, Professor Karen Blackthornne, was a mid-level instructor at the academy. While not famous, he had a solid support base. His signature cold-heartedness and calculated calm were the perfect weapons to hide his true identity, a practitioner of forbidden magic. When Adrien finally arrived at Karen's office, light seeped from under the door. He knocked and announced his name. After an uncomfortable silence, a small voice granted him permission to enter. Inside, a middle-aged man with black hair parted perfectly down the middle sat examining a magic tablet, which looked remarkably like a smartphone from Marcus's old world. Professor Karen spoke Adrien's name with deliberate slowness. After Adrien confirmed his presence, Karen reminded him their meeting was scheduled for the 11th. Adrien quickly apologized, claiming he'd misunderstood the date. A cold gaze, like the flick of a snake's tongue, passed over him. After a tense moment, Karen stood and walked toward a specific section of his office, stating that punishment was necessary. Adrien simply accepted, knowing protest was futile. Karen gave his orders. Adrien was to go to Binhard's National Cemetery and retrieve a container marked with the name Baden. The deadline was 2 days. The journey alone would take over half a day each way. Refusing wasn't an option. Adrien agreed. Then Karen commanded Adrien to follow him. As Adrien acknowledged, Karen touched a specific book on his shelf. The entire bookshelf slid aside, revealing a shimmering magical barrier. Karen spoke a command, and with a pulse of mana from the ring on his finger, the barrier recognized its owner and faded away. As Adrien followed him through, he stepped into a vast underground research laboratory. The lab was enormous, filled with all sorts of magical equipment. Glowing containers lined the walls, ancient artifacts sat on pedestals, and complex magical formations were etched into the floor. Although Adrien's body had been here before, Marcus, the soul within, was overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the forbidden research. Karen gestured toward a ritual space in the center, muttering that the experiment should have been done yesterday. When Adrien hesitated, Karen snapped, "Are you still out of your mind?" Jolted into action, Adrien's body began collecting magical reagents reflexively. The movements were familiar, ingrained through countless repetitions. As his body moved automatically, memories of past rituals surfaced. First, he poured an alchemical solution carefully onto the floor. Then, Karen constructed a formation with the glowing liquid, while Adrien placed rare magical powders at specific points. He arranged cursed artifacts and reagents in their proper places. The preparation was complete. Marcus was baffled by how complicated this was. In the game, necromantic magic was simpler, activated with a single command. Reality, it seemed, required far more preparation. Once everything was ready, Karen arranged his mana and began the incantations. The magic circle started glowing with an ethereal light, scattering mystical energy as it built the spell. As the light intensified, the magical reaction reached its peak. But then, something went wrong. The energy flickered, became unstable, and then faded entirely. The spell collapsed. Karen stated flatly, "A failure." After his declaration, he began recording notes in his journal. Marcus wondered if that was all. Was he summoned just for this? But unlike the frustration Marcus felt, his body diligently began to tidy up the laboratory. While cleaning, Adrien felt an intense gaze from somewhere in the shadows. He looked toward the source of the sensation. There, behind iron bars in a reinforced cell, a pale figure in heavy restraints was staring directly at him. A memory surfaced instantly. A vampire. Marcus was shocked. Karen had a vampire imprisoned down here. Vampires in this world were rare and incredibly powerful. Marcus could count on one hand the number of times he'd encountered them in the game. But what was one doing here, locked away in Karen's secret laboratory? Thanks for watching. What do you think Karen is planning? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next episode where we uncover more secrets. And if you're just joining us, be sure to check out the full playlist linked in the description. See you next time.